Well, hello, here we are again. Welcome back to My Life, My Way. Unfortunately, there hasn't been much trouble lately, but I'm hoping to change that this weekend. We will see. Hopefully everything goes to plan and there's nothing that stops me from going. But today is, I was going to say Thursday, but it's actually Wednesday. And I am dog food cooking. I get a lot of comments about my dog and how he's got such a great coat and he is just so healthy and rah rah rah. So I thought I would share just a little bit of the effort that I put in to keep him that way. Obviously, Staffy Pity breeds are notorious for dodgy skin and allergies and stuff like that. So I cook for him. He does eat biscuits, but yeah. So I just got out of pre-cooked food. I'm adding sweet potato to this cook up. So basically I cook kangaroo mix for him and throw in mixed vegetables. Just the mixed bag from Woolies or Coles. I think we've got potatoes, carrots, zucchinis, beans. Yeah, so he has that. But I also top that with a pumpkin puree every second night or every night, depending on what's going on. But I've also been told that sweet potato is really good for them. So I have the Instant Pot out again. I've tried this a couple of different ways. On the stove, it seems to turn out extremely runny. And I don't want running, I want like puree. So what I did, last time I did it in the microwave and it just took forever. So it's like, you know what, I don't really feel like letting things take forever. It is 5 to 5 already. I worked today and then had to do clean 2 houses. So I didn't get home until just after 4, much to Bugger Wug's disgust because his dinner time's at 4. So he was less than impressed that I was late and is still less than impressed that I'm not on the couch. But like I said, for me to feed him the way I do, it takes effort. I was meant to go next door. Apparently the landlady's landlord drove past and took a photo of her yard. She's a rather old lady. I don't know, she'd be at least in her 70s or something. And they drove past and said that her yards weren't good enough. Now she's having a lot of trouble with her back or her neck. My nephew plays with her grandson, so my sister and her talk. So my sister said something yesterday, so I said I'd go over this afternoon, and she's managed to do, she can't afford her gardener to come at the moment. So I will be popping over there after to see if she doesn't mind waiting till tomorrow now, because obviously everything's running rather late for me. And I'll go over there tomorrow and mow her back lawn. Just, you know, do the neighbourly thing, help her out a little bit. It's starting to get a bit warm, so we have to keep an eye on our more vulnerable people, neighbours, family members. So, as I said, I will pop over there after and just hopefully she's happy to wait and she hasn't done it herself. I did mean to go this afternoon, but oops, that could get a little messy. Put it in the scraps bin. That's not what you want. So, as I said, it's not hard, but the effort seems to work. We still can't get quite on top of the allergies, but his skin's pretty good for a 6-year-old Staffy. He doesn't really have too many issues or bald spots or anything like that, so I'd like to keep it that way. And this is better than spending, what did they have me buying? It was an inside outside probiotic. They said that he needed. It was $82 for a tub. I stopped using it, I don't know, 2 months ago, maybe 3 months ago, and nothing has changed. So that's rather frustrating when the vets recommend that you use something which is a complete fucking waste of money. But I suppose, personally, I think that it probably did more harm than good, and probably ended up with more trips to the vet out of it. So, anywho, you get that. So basically, I've just done 2 half butternut pumpkins. Yes, I know I probably could have just bought a whole one. I don't think it works out any different in price, and it just makes it, if it's already halved, it makes it easier for me to cut it up, because my hands and my wrists aren't very good. So anything that can help take a little bit of the pressure off of those, especially things, you know, I've already cleaned 2 houses this afternoon and worked all day. So, alright, there we go. I believe there should be enough water in there. Get that out. Oops, no. Pressure cook for 5 minutes. That should do it. Worked for the potatoes the other night. 5 minutes was plenty. Alright, so that's that side of things done. Got some dishes on the go there too. So yeah, it's been a busy day. But doing all this afternoon means that hopefully a nice, lazy, well, much more chilled afternoon tomorrow. So now I also have to make some treats because he's out of them. What do we got? Oh. I think so. So in here we have pineapple, strawberries and some blueberries. I'm going to stick a bunch of, oh, I need to get some coconut oil. Probably melt it. Something like that. And then we'll put some Greek yogurt in here. And then add some coconut oil. And then I'll mix that up with the blender. And then put it in ice cube trays and freeze it for Bolo. I also do, but I don't need to, I've already done them. He gets ones with sardines. So a couple of tins of sardines, some Greek yogurt and some coconut oil. Mix it all up. Put it in ice cube trays. And then freeze them. Probably don't put the lid on that. Okay. There we go. I know. He's not been very happy. He hasn't had sweet treats for 2 days. No, he sounds like such a princess, doesn't he? A little bit. Alright, now let's try not to let this happen again. This in. Make a bit of noise. All right. Now This is the first time I've added blueberries to it. Oh no, the coconut oil's starting to set. Because he will not eat them. And apparently blueberries are very good for dogs, but I cannot for the life of me get him to eat them. Frozen or, what do you call it, fresh. So I figure because usually it's just pineapple and strawberries that go in here. But yeah, he won't eat them in his breakfast. So I'm going to put them in here and he better eat them. So this here is one of the reasons why he has such a beautiful shiny coat, because he gets very well looked after. He usually has his sweet treat in the morning with his breakfast, and then the sardine one he has in the afternoon. But I've also just added some sardines because I've read they're really good to fight the itchy scratchies. So I've just started adding 2 or 3 actual whole sardines to his breakfast in the morning. So, and he seems to be tolerating them well, so can't whinge about that. Oh, this is made up lots more than usual, but that can't be a bad thing. And then tomorrow I need to cook up his dinners because he's only got one left in the freezer. Coconut oil doesn't take long to start to set again. And some hot water. Oh, I think it's how I go. When I got home and I'm absolutely starving, so I'm eating a box of TV snacks. Why not? Who says it? You can't have sweets for tea. Okay, I'm gonna wait for this to finish. It hasn't come up to pressure yet, but I'm kind of digging this pressure cooker because it just saves me so much time. But anywho, I will touch base with you when it's ready. Right, there you is. Someone's just decided to come back inside. What you doing? Up, come up, up. No. Good boy. Doesn't want to jump. Hi there. I know. I'm getting there, buddy. Alright, so the pumpkin is done. We have this lovely pureed mass of pumpkin and sweet potato. And now I stick it in the containers, take them out, and one container will last, I don't know, 4 or 5 days. Just gets a couple of tablespoons, like big soup spoons on top of each meal. It actually came out beautiful and thick. I didn't take all the water out of the pressure cooker. There's still some juices in there. It's fucking hot. And I just made a mess. God damn it. But while that was cooking, I managed to get the lawns mowed. So that's one job done. I did go and try and speak to the next door neighbour, but she's not home, so she'll have to wait till tomorrow now. Not really in frame, am I? But that's alright, because I look a bit hideous. Got a big chunk of jobs done, so I'm happy with that. Always one short. what did that make? 6 containers, so I won't have to do that again for a while. And they go in the freezer along with all these other meals. And I just take them out as needed. Normally I would have done most of it all in one day, but because I had to put his treats in the freezer, they need a flat surface to sit on. Oh, now I've got pumpkin all over my fucking tape. Very good. I don't know. Tea towels, that's the word I was looking for. Jesus. Anywho. That's better. Alright, so we have 6 containers of pumpkin and sweet potato puree for His Highness. Yes, we do. One bit short. So tomorrow his treats will be frozen solid and I will be able to put them in a Ziploc bag, and then I will cook up tomorrow afternoon. I will spend cooking up his dinners and I will show you a bit of that, I suppose. I don't know. These sorts of channels seem to like a little bit of everything, so I might as well do a little bit of everything. Alright, that's it for now. And it's time, what is it? Oh my god, it's 5:45. I'm so usually on the shower and on the couch by now. So I'm going to go have a quick shower, throw on some jammies, which I actually just got some new jammies today delivered, so yay. Yeah, and then it's couch time. So hope everyone's having a lovely Wednesday and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Happy Friday, everybody. I'm back again. I didn't quite get to do Drew's food on the Thursday night. Hi there, hi there, hi there, Mr. Drew. What are you licking your lips for? Is Mum about to start cooking your dinner? Okay, so got myself a vodka because it's been one of those weeks, so why not? Then we got 10 to 3, Friday afternoon. Time to start cooking this dog some food. Quite simple, just the way I like it. Right, I cook his food in sunflower oil because that's what we were told to do back when he was a puppy. Oops, that's probably a lot, but that's right. Yes, it's a bit gross, this stuff, but yeah, and it's not cheap, but it agrees with him, so I am happy to do it. I'll probably have to wait for that to heat up. So I have a couple of other little videos on the go with gadgets and stuff like that, so I just did some filming for that. I'm not leaving for my weekend adventure until tomorrow morning, so yes. I'll get some things sorted today, everything charged up, and then we will head out in the morning whenever we feel like it. I don't think it's an overly long trip. There's going to be a lot of stops to see or do all the sightseeing along the coast, but yeah, we'll just see how it goes. Why not? It is quite warm today. I think it was about 25, 26 on my way home. What did you do, Buggy? Did you want your treats? Oh, is that why you're licking your lips? Come here. Come here. Say hi. What? Alright, I'll get them for you. Hang on. This one. No Smacko today. He didn't know Smacko is. Alright. So he likes this thing. I got him. And I just break up a Smacko into pieces. And he pushes it under the couch at least 3 times, which is always fun. He comes looking at me and I'm like, oh, where is it? He walks straight over to the side of the couch and show me whereabouts it is. Got quite the personality, don't you, Mr. Drew? Right, ready? 2 Let's see if we can do this so you can see what's going on. Alright. Maybe I'll put it there. There we go. Go sit down. Sit down. Go on. Oh. Did you get one? Oh. So now he stops to eat his sardine treat. Oh my. Or did it go in there? It went in his bowl. Get it. No, get it away from your water. Thank you. Actually moved the ottoman yesterday just to, so there's a little bit more room in here because I need to be able to do my exercises that the physio wants me to do, and there's no room for it in here, and there's a bit more playroom for him. Did you get him? Okay, well there we go. It's very cute. But we will head back over here to where we need to be. Alright, so this I have found, as much as these bags tear open, it's just easier to cut them. The trick is not to let it slip or else it's flat. Blood everywhere. Most of the time it comes out in one hit, which is always helpful. A sink full of water right there just to help. My wooden spoon. So, I don't know, what else? Not really a hell of a lot going on. Just trying to survive this last bit of time at work. As I said, it's not the easiest period when a business is being sold and transferred, and a lot of stress and a lot of bitching behind everyone else's backs. Yeah, but alright, we'll see how we go. I'll just do my job, get in, get out, go home. In terms of work, it's not life at all for me. So, thought he pushed it onto the couch, but no, he's still pushing it around. Oh. So there we go. Ugh. All blood. I don't know, I've had a couple of people say to me that you've got to be very careful with kangaroo. Apparently they're very wormy animals or something. But I buy this kangaroo mints from like a human section, not from the pet section, so it's safe for us to eat, so I figure it must be safe for him. And my dog doesn't have worms. I would know. Uh-oh, there's no noise, Mr. Drew. It's either empty or he's pushed it under the couch. What's the matter? Is it all gone? Is it all gone? They're still in there, you Wally. Get him. What? Tricked him. I said I'm not usually a big drinker. I have one or two here and there, unless it's a night out, which is a bit far and few between these days as you get a bit older. I figure if I do this now, I'm waiting for it to cool down because my front yard is absolutely atrocious. Weeds are ridiculous. So I might get out there tonight. I was going to pay a gardener to come in and just go halves with my sister, and because she don't like to do it, and just get. I did have someone last year about this time, because it's all paved, so all this little shit grows up between the pavers, and then you get your big ass weeds. They don't bother me, I can pull them out, no worries. It's all the little crap. I did buy, what was it? A grout cleaning brush on a big long pole, and tried to do it with that. And it does sort of work getting it out, but even this here is killing my hands. My hands are not good. So the less work I do like that, probably the better. Like that's caning my hand at the minute, just using a wooden spoon. So some days are better than others, but yeah, and some movements are better than others. So, but I don't know. They don't seem to find anything wrong. I've had ultrasounds and x-rays and all sorts of stuff done, and of course, as per usual, the doctors go, we can't find anything wrong, because you know, I just make this shit up so I can go to the doctors and pay a fortune. I don't know. I give up most of the time. There is a lot of arthritis in my families, so on both sides, but particularly on mum's. So, and I'm constantly hearing, oh, that's what all the problems that I had when I was younger. So, yeah, I think that is probably the problem. So we are almost cooked here. What do we got? Just the Woolies ones. I personally wouldn't eat these, but because I like to be able to see what my vegetables are. We've got carrot, zucchini, potato, green beans, and corn. So that's 2 kilos of kangaroo mince, and then I'll throw in 2 kilos of vegetables. Oh, I thought it would fit. Maybe I only do 1 bag of vegetables. I think I might. Bugger. Now I have to find room for another bag of vegetables. Maybe I have to put it down at my sister's house. She has a big freezer in her laundry, and I can just use them next time I do a cook up. Yeah. ratios look about right. Okay, that's probably the biggest problem with doing it, because I'll get 30 odd mils out of this, so I don't do it very often. Probably even more than that, maybe. And I'm making a mess. Of course, wouldn't be cooking with Trish if you didn't make a mess. But judging by this, I only use 1 bag of vegetables. Yeah, that will be interesting. Back in a sec. I do according to my list on the fridge. So, yeah, well, well, I will wait. My sister will be picking the kid up from school. I do have a key, but I don't like to use it if I don't have to. And I will go put that in her freezer for next time. So, there you go. 3 kilos of food. 2 kilos of kangaroo mince and 1 kilo of mixed vegetables. There we go. And just let that heat through a bit more. Drink a bit more vodka. What else do I have to do today? Not really much at all. I got a lot of jobs done. As I said, might wait till about 5, 6 o'clock and then go out front and attack some of these weeds. I actually used a handsaw last time and it got in all the grooves really well. Not for the pavers, but for like the bigger weeds in the concrete. So I might try that again. But if anyone knows a cheap gardener, that would be very handy. The lady next door, she has a gardener that comes around and he charges $120 for an hour. Now, I don't know if that means if he only does half an hour it's only $60, but I'll pay $120 for him to play in my front yard. My front yard doesn't need an hour. If I knew how to use a whippersnapper, that would be awesome. But I just don't. Up until, I don't know, how long have I had my house? I've been here 9 years, just over 9 years. About 9, yeah, almost 9.5 years. And it wasn't until I moved in here, probably would have been after the renos were done, most of the renos anyway, because we didn't really have much grass while I was doing what I was doing. And so then Mum brought down an old lawnmower that she had up the farm. Was that the farm? I think so. And yes, that was my first time ever using a real lawnmower. Until then, I had a push lawnmower because I didn't know how to use one. So I just went and got a normal person-powered lawnmower from Bunnings, and that just makes sure you that you do it before it gets too long, or else it's a right bitch trying to push one of those through long lawn. So yeah, and I used to use a pair of scissors to do my edges. I tried the whole, use a shovel, put it on there, jump up and down. But back then I was only like 50 kilos. And yeah, it didn't matter how much I jumped up and down, it didn't cut an edge into the lawn. So I got very sick of that. And I know all about, like, you've got whippersnippers and all of that, but every man I've ever seen try and use a whippersnipper has just struggled something fierce. And I don't really get them myself, so I just never even bothered to try. And still to this day, I have never ever used a whippersnipper. But after hearing about the loss of feeling in my fingers, my father decided to get me a tomahawk. Well, one of my grandpa's old ones. So he sharpened that up with a pair of shears and came to the rescue and gave them to me. And now I just go outside with my little tomahawk, axe, whatever people want to call them. And I cut in probably about that far into my lawn and then just scrape all the dirt out. And that's how I do my edges. See, sometimes you just have to figure things out. There's always a way to do things. You just got to figure out how to do it. maybe one day I will meet somebody that will have the patience to teach me how to use a whippersnipper. And then I can do my own front lawn. But as I said, front yard, it's really not that hard. It's only this time in winter, after winter and in spring, when everything starts to go through all the cracks. It's just the nightmare to get all the little bits out of every single groove, and it just, as I said, I can't do it. So I was really kind of hoping my mum just got back from Darwin 2 weeks ago. She's now staying at my older sister's house because she is now, I think she landed in America today. She's going on a road trip and traveling all around in there. So she's staying at my sister's house and Kat's sitting there. Not the one I live with, another one. Or else my front yard would be done already. Which mum would come by, she'd have a fucking absolute heart attack if she saw the state of my front yard. I only have to look at it when I pull in the driveway once a day. Alright. Well, this is done. Oh, and that is not. Let's see. Crazy times, one vodka in. Alright. Now to container it up. Oh. I will move you. Alright, here we are, we're back. Different angle. Mr. Drew has dinners. He knows his food's cooked. It's Juju. Oh yeah, it must have, oops, where is he? You can't see him. My camera work is absolutely terrible. What you doing? Hi. He licks his lips. Yeah, it's not even close to dinner time yet, so don't even start. No, it is not. Alright, the treats. I'll show you his treats. Okay, so these are what I made the other day, and he did eat this one this morning. So they're the sweet treats. So they're just ice cubed. Just stick them in a Ziploc bag when it wants to work. You're not having any more. And then these are the sardine ones. And I just give them to him frozen. He eats them. You like them like that, don't you? Yes. The sardine ones are a bit stinky. Ooh, stinky fingers. Alright, we will get some containers. And some mints. I know, right? And here we go. And then you just, I fill these containers and they do 2 nights of dinners. Mixed with some pumpkin puree and what do I do? Sweet potato. Because the vet says he needs to lose some weight. How rude. But yes. So he thinks he's being starved at the minute. But he's not by any means. And yeah, so as I said, these go in the freezer. They do him for 2 nights with 2 scoops of pumpkin and now sweet potato puree. And that gives him about half a cup. And then I'll add half a cup, maybe 3/4 of a cup of biscuits, depending on the activity levels for the day. Like if he's just laid around on fuck all, he won't get extra. But if we've been for a decent sized walk or something and he's still hungry, he can have a couple more biscuits. But yes, and his belly does seem to be a little bit better since I've cut a little bit of food out of his diet. Because I think you were just eating because you were pig. Don't look at me like that. Huh? No. He's probably still trying to figure out who the fuck I'm talking to. Huh. He's sitting on his bed in the kitchen at the window there. Pretty much the only time he sits there when I am home. Apparently my sister, because my sister comes down and has her morning cup of tea with him when she gets back from dropping the child off at school. And apparently he's quite often sitting there under the window, but the only time he sits there when I am home is when I'm in the kitchen. But it is not. It's only 3:15. Dinner time's not till 4 o'clock. Oh, maybe one more. So it doesn't take very long. It used to. When he was a puppy, I used to do pet mince, pet steak that you get from Woolies and Coles, like the diced steak stuff, and sausages. And and I cooked them all separately, so he had variety. I know what a wanker am I, but yes. And they were all mixed with vegetables as well. So, alright, I think we can lighten the load on some of these. Just to fill that one, that'll do. Alright, so what? I'll just half put a lid on them, leave them on the bench to cool down. Usually doing this, I have tunes cranked and possibly a vodka. So let's I don't know. You're not allowed to have any music on YouTube. I don't know what that's all about, because I watch free music on YouTube all the fucking time. So I don't know why you can't use it in the background of your videos, but I guess there's rules there for some reason. I have a lot of containers because I used to do one of these, used to feed him for one night. You see it a lot more than he does now. Right. That's right, because eventually they crack and go to shit. So